everybody, and welcome to That's Football. I've just kicked my foot, and I'm live. It's Mark Goldbridge. We're live. We're live for Man City against Crystal Palace. Oh my God, that might be broke. That might be worse than I thought. That's not the normal pain you get. Oh, you joking? Hello. How are we all doing? Crystal Palace against Manchester City is our match tonight. Crystal Palace, I mean, bloody hell. They surely look like a team that's going down as well. I mean, Muniz is apparently going to Everton. Lacroix went to Chelsea. Sarr is probably off to Liverpool. I don't know whether he's gone already, but he's not involved in the game. I predicted Crystal Palace to go down, and that was met with quite a lot of shock and surprise. But maybe that was a good take. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I hope you're all doing well. Friday night football, and I think Liverpool are live on Friday night next week as well. So we've got a good start to this Premier League season with Friday night football. So I hope you're doing well. You know me. I really enjoy a Friday night live football match. If you know, I do. And we are live here for the Crystal Palace against Manchester City game. So hope you're all doing very well. Please do share the video and get involved. Let's have a look at these teams then. And I suppose the best place to start is the team that probably we're all turning up to watch here. Thoroughly enjoyed the watch along with you on Monday night watching Chelsea, who definitely turned up and showed their capability in this summer transfer, in this new Premier League season. Will Man City show us what they're all about tonight? So Elliot Anderson has been past fit, which is bloody typical because I've took him out my Premier League side, fantasy Premier League side. But Donnarumma, Kushanov, Diaz, Gehi, Vardiel as the back four. Anderson and O'Reilly again is in the midfield. Cherki at 10, Foden, Semenyo and Haaland as their front three. On the bench, you've got Alt-Nouri, Bouadi straight onto the bench, new signing. Braithwaite, Echeverry, Kovacic, Lewis, Macedo, Rulli and Reis. What's going on with Man City's bench? It just doesn't look very strong. And I'm trying to think who's missing. I mean, I know Doku's probably got a knock, but they do look a little bit light to me, if I'm being completely honest. And you've then got the Palace team: Henderson, Canvo, Richards, Tamiyasu, Khalili, Mitchell. Remember, Crystal Palace, over the last 2 years under Glasner, had one of the best defences in the league, especially away from home. I don't think they're going to do that this year. Kamada and Wharton in the midfield. It surprises me Wharton's decided to stay there, in some ways it's admirable, but in another way everyone else has left. And then it's Nketiah. I mean, I don't want to be offensive, but I think if Nketiah's in your starting lineup, you're probably getting, you're in trouble. Strand Larson and Pino. Mateta's not even on the bench as well. I wonder, so where's Mateta going? Is he going Villa? Will Hughes on the bench. Disarcy's on the bench. Muniz on the bench. I mean, Dwight McNeil's on the bench. Mateta's injured apparently. Okay. I genuinely think I might be onto something with Crystal Palace getting relegated. Nobody was with me on that one, and I don't want to meddle, but Crystal Palace getting relegated could be my Arsenal are going to win the league last year. Love Selhurst Park. Fortunate enough to play there. It's as good to play there as it is to watch it. Lovely little ground in London, and looking forward to this very much so. Look, I predicted Man City are going to win the league. I must say, I look at their bench and I think it's very, very slim. Very, very slim. But I suppose there are still players to come back. So, yeah, I guess we'll just see how that sort of plays out for them. Surely they're going to buy. Who have they got? Who are they looking to bring in? Let me know in the chat. Who are they looking to bring in? Sorry, I've just been saying that. Sorry, I've just been sent something here I need to sort out. Apologies. Let me copy that. Okay, yeah, I'm getting told here. So, Enzo Fernandez, Alan from Brazil. We've also got Doku injured. Yeah, there's a few players. I don't know whether Nunes is on the bench for them as well. Yeah, Nunes isn't on the bench for them, and I don't think he's starting. So yeah, they've got a few players. I feel like Man City might be a little bit light up front. That's sort of my feeling. But you know, thanks for the first super chat of the night. Ninja says thoughts on Chelsea Martinez goalkeeper signing. Look, I feel like Chelsea might be a very enjoyable team to watch, and that's what football's all about. Obviously, United fan, United stand. Stick to United with Rooney, you know. But no, thank you for all of you for support and making that possible. But that's football. Exciting things coming here. But that's football for me is enjoyment. I don't sit and watch Man City against Palace because I'm a miserable, boring sod on a Friday night. I want to be entertained. And as much as I'd love Crystal Palace to win, if Man City turn up and play well in what's a very nice kit, then you can only doff your hat to them, which is what I did on Monday night. And I like Alonso. I really liked what Alonso did at Leverkusen. I thought it was so exciting, and they thoroughly deserved that Bundesliga. I think Real Madrid was a mistake. I really do. And, that's just my personal take on it. But that could be the benefit for Chelsea. And I thought that so my thoughts on the Chelsea Martinez goalkeeper signing is I think it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, United nearly went for Emi Martinez last summer, and I'm glad we didn't because I'm very happy with Le Mans. But I'd never heard of Le Mans, so if we'd signed Emi Martinez, I wouldn't have known about Le Mans, and I'd have been very happy with it. So I do think that looking at the signing of Emi Martinez, I mean, he's a World Cup winning goalkeeper. He's a very, very good goalkeeper, and we've spoken about it so much on this channel. Chelsea are in desperate need of a goalkeeper and have been for a very long time. You've just gone and bought one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. So I don't think Chelsea win the league. I really don't think they win the league. But I think before a ball was kicked, I didn't know whether they'd get in the top 5. And that's going to be so important for them because they don't have the finances of some of the other clubs because they've got a smaller ground. But I'd be very, very surprised if you didn't put Chelsea in the top 4 now. No Europe, very good squad, good style of play, strong goalkeeper. Yeah. As Gaming Veteran says, top 4 for sure. What do you think about GTA 6? I didn't watch it last night because I did the evening show and then I went out. So I didn't have time to watch it last night. But I watched it today when I was having my lunch. I didn't really like the story mode bollocks, but the little clips of the playthrough on the bikes and in the cars and jumping off the buildings and all that, I was like, bloody hell. It's just, it looks good. It looks good. And the thing about GTA 6, the thing about Grand Theft Auto is, if it looks good, it's definitely going to play good. I mean, every bloody game I've played of GTA has played well and good missions and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Presumably, I'm going to do a playthrough of this. I mean, some of my clips even pop up now of my dog and all sorts of stuff. So look, if the demand's there, I'll definitely do it. Palace are on the attack here, but Diaz has got absolutely rinsed. I don't rate Diaz. And Nketiah twisted him up there, and he did get the shot off. I don't rate Diaz. I do not rate Diaz. So, early corner here for Crystal Palace. We've only had a couple of minutes. And I thought I was going in then. They've headed it away. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do share the video. And Man City just looking to clear it here. Look, I didn't watch the Man City Bournemouth game last week, because I was actually driving up from Manchester. Another shot there from Palace over there. I'll tell you what, Palace has started off all right here. Maybe they're not going to get relegated. But a lot of people felt that City were shaky against Bournemouth. I mean, look, it's not... This is my first chance to look at Man City this season, and of course it's not the Man City we've been looking at for years and years and years. You are not going to like this, Mark, but I want Nico O'Reilly at United. Bro has got so much aura. It's never going to happen, Rajaf. TK says, why are you such a funny guy? I don't intend to be funny, mate, so if you find me funny, it's a bonus, but yeah. Rest in peace to King Harold, says Andreas. Thank you very much. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. It was my birthday a few weeks back. Can you wish me a happy birthday, says Liam. No, because it's not technically a birthday. It's a pet hate of mine. If it's not your birthday, I'm not wishing you a happy birthday. No, I'm only joking. Happy birthday for a few weeks ago. Hope it went well. What's your thoughts on Elliot Anderson? I like Elliot Anderson. I think there is this absolute determination, especially in the United fan base, that Elliot Anderson be a flop, despite everybody in the United fan base wanting him, especially after he played against us at Old Trafford at the end of last season. I think he's a really good player. And I think he'll do really, really well. He's the sort of player that I think it's impossible to flop, because he's got so many strings to his bow. He's a good passer, he's a good tackler, he's got lots of energy, he can create a goal as well, and he's just got caught in possession. I've jinxed it. Don't put that on TikTok, especially if Palace go and score. But to be fair, he lost the ball, and he's there with Vardiel helping to win it back. Covers a lot of ground. Last week, every match had an incredible tempo. Combine that with so many new managers, and we have an incredible season ahead of us. May this continue, says Bart. I do agree with you, actually. You know what? I was thinking about that today. I think that the tempo of the games last week, especially the games I watched, was so fast. And how long is he going to take with this throw-in, ref? Fucking out, ref. How long was that throw-in? About 20 fucking seconds. I'm not letting that go. "25 seconds for that throw-in. Nah, that needs calling out. We're not having any of that shit. Last week it was quick, it was fast flowing, just like Bart said. But that Palace throw in there must have been at least 20 seconds. He needs to sort that out. Don't want any of that bollocks coming back. No way, Pedro. But yeah, I mean, look, Elliot Anderson's a very different player to Rodri, and but I like Boadi. I like Boadi. I mean, it's such a pain in the arse, really. From what I've seen of Boadi, I like him. Predominantly, it was in the World Cup, if I'm being honest. I really do like Elliot Anderson. So if that's going to be their midfield too, it's a new journey for Manchester City. You should try and get the rights for United to be played on United Stand. Fits like a glove. What are your thoughts on the updated rules in the Premier League? Says Killen. United by Judas Priest, sorry. I like the Premier League. I think it's had a really good flow to it, as Bart said. And look, games are much better to watch when they flow. Corner to Man City here. What's your fantasy Premier League team? I will tell you in a moment. Here's Elliot Anderson. Oh, good shot. And Henderson and Haaland and cleared away by Palace. It was very close. Man City were appealing for something, but Henderson's done a great job there. He has done a great job there. Mr. Al-Shamari, will you do the Bundesliga this season? Yeah, it has. I mean, I didn't know this a week ago, mate. I thought we were going to be doing every week on the Bundesliga, but we have got 15 games this season. But I mean, I can't go into deep detail because of contracts and stuff. But essentially, when it comes to, and I loved last season. I loved doing every game here on That's Football. But we still do have a relationship with Bundesliga. We have to do. We'll be doing a minimum of 15. But basically, the deal we've done is that we want to prioritise the Premier League. So if there's a Premier League game on, we basically don't have to do the Bundesliga. So next week we don't have to do it. This week we don't have to do it. Oh! Henderson jumps on it. So yeah, we've got that. Do a collab with Ginge at what? What was City moaning for here? No, nothing. Yeah, good tempo to this game. Man City seem to have worked their way back into this after a slow start, but it's Palace on the break. Cross comes in. Diaz deals with that. Yeah, this was the game. I played here in the Beta Squad charity game where I was the manager, and then I stormed down the tunnel in my suit, and then I came out in my kit. It was choreographed. It did, in everybody's mind, it was going to be really good, but it probably didn't go down as well as we thought it was. Good play by Palace. 3-0 to Palace. It's not really. Palace beat City last season twice. I wouldn't say they'll be relegated this season, says Jason. I've already said it. What are you gonna do about it? Got a problem with that? Yeah, but that was a Palace side that's very different to the Palace side now. Look, I'm not saying Palace are going to plummet like Wolves. I'm just saying that I think it might be a competitive Premier League season and they might go down. I want that ball. Why haven't Puma sent me the new Premier League ball? They normally do. What's worse, 3 p.m. blackout or your super chat ignored, says Lewis. I'd say your super chat ignored, or you could just say you missed my super chat, which I won't have done. Can you sing 9 to 5 as a tribute to Dolly Parton? I actually do like that song. Palace are on the attack. He's got to be offside. No, he's not. Good block by Gahey against his former club. Dun 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 dun. Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and cry to come alive. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the street the traffic starts jumping. With folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taken and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you get it. There you go. I actually do really like that song, so I enjoyed that. Rest in peace, Dolly. I'll tell you what made me piss myself. Absolutely made me piss myself. And it led to other things that made me piss myself. It was, I got sent this clip of Cal the Dragon. Basically, he didn't do a live stream on the day that Dolly Parton died on a tribute to Dolly, which I thought was lovely of Cal, but it just makes me there's certain things he comes out with that just make me laugh, and obviously it made my mate laugh because he sent me the clip, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm not live streaming tonight out of tribute to Dolly Parton." It's what she would have wanted. But then, because I'd watched that clip, you know, like the algorithm gives you more clips. I had another clip of Cal the Dragons, and he got asked the question of when did he start swearing, and he said, Yeah, I probably started swearing when I was 18, but you know, people say I'm not much of a swearer, but I probably started swearing when I was about 18, but it was about 20 when I really got into swearing, you know, using the word fuck and stuff like that. Brilliant, brilliant. Why is everyone passing away, says Marge. I think it's, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I just think it's an age thing. A lot of the people, if you're around my age, like, you know, 30s, 40s, a lot of the people we grew up with as icons are hitting 70, 80. So that's what starts. So I mean, half the cast of Home Alone is dead, isn't it? Can you sing Jolene, but instead say Vinny? Hey, Vinny! Hey, Vinny! Hey, Jolene! Hey, Jolene, Jolene! I sound like I'm bloody having a crap. Hope you're doing well, Vinny. Mark, you clocked off after about 5 seconds, says Sam. Palace did that one. I feel like I've missed a super chat here. Let me go back. Last week, done that one. So Leao to Turkey is 45 million, but to United it'd be 90. Well, I'm glad I don't want him. We don't want him. Yeah, Lewis, I'm not answering that question. People ask it me all the time. I'm just not going to answer it, am I? Do I look like I've got mug written on my forehead? Like, I don't have to answer every question. Your timer's off. It's absolutely bang on. It's YouTube that's off, not me. Till all are one, rest in peace, Peter Cullen, says Retro. I don't know who that is. Oh, is he Optimus Prime? Yeah. I saw a clip of Sylvester Stallone today, and when you think about it, Harrison Ford, Sylvester Stallone, Arnie, Bruce Willis, De Niro, Pacino. That's 6. That's half a team. And I'm not saying you can't replace them. You know, these are. I've just named the Zidans and Ronaldos and Messis of the world in the entertainment world. You can't replace them. Anyway, Palace have actually started off quite well here. 15 minutes gone. And long may it continue. We want a competitive Premier League, and again, it's flame. To be fair, talking about the Bundesliga, this reminds me of. I don't know how many of you used to watch the Bundesliga streams because it was geo-locked to UK and Ireland. So if you're outside the UK and Ireland, you probably didn't watch it. But we'd watch games last season like Augsburg against Hamburg. Wouldn't really know much about them, but obviously we had live footage of it. But because the referees were so good and the flow was so good, they were always enjoyable games to watch. To be fair, the Premier League has got its arse in gear because I know it's only week 2, but they are fast-flowing games. Free kicks are being taken quickly. There's no pissing about. I actually watched the game from last season just for a bit of research on Wednesday, and you know, like Diaz there could have took 20 seconds to take that free kick last year. This year, they're under pressure to take it. What's your fantasy Premier League team? So on the pitch today, I've got Haaland as captain and I've got Donnarumma as my goalkeeper. I did have Elliot Anderson, but I've subbed him out. I've sold him, and I've got Morgan Rogers in. So a few changes for my team today. But if Man City are going to win, I need them to win to 0, and I need Haaland to score. But ideally, Palace win. But yeah, I've took Elliot Anderson out, so you can pretty much guarantee he'll have a bloody worldie as well. Good cross. Haaland! What a header. What a goal. What a goal. And that's my captain. And I thought it had gone. I didn't know whether it had gone in. What a goal. That is absolutely exquisite. That header is magnifico. Magnifico. The best striker in the league. Possibly in the world. His haircut suits him. And scoring goals for Manchester City definitely suits him. Fantastic header. That, to me, is what being one of the best in the world is about. Like, it's a difficult header. I think it comes in from Semenyo, if you've got him. Yeah, lovely cross. Oh, he makes it look so easy. He just hangs in the air above Richards. Henderson. Call him what you like. He was never saving that. It's just such a great header. His aerial ability is magnificent there as well. That's not easy to do. An unstoppable header from a goalkeeper that's got a good dive. 1-0 to City after 17 minutes. Incredible header. Brilliant header. Quality. Absolute quality. And it you know what? From a spectator point of view, it opens the game up as well. Because if Palace score first, it ends up defence against attack. They've got to open up a little bit now. But, yeah, well, the one bonus there is for all of us who've got Erling Haaland as captain. Good refereeing there. Played it on. Wagwam says you're going to get clipped by FPL TikTok for that timing. Is that a thing? Hi, Marky. Would you rather win the World Cup and Euros back-to-back with England or the Premier League with Man United as a player? If I was a player, would I rather win the Premier League with Man United or win the Euros and the World Cup with England? Depends what... Genuinely depends what position I'm playing. Like, if I'm like a right-back, I'd probably choose Man United because it's my team. But if I'm the star striker for England, I might want to win the World Cup. Yeah. As a fan, I'd always choose Man United. Hi, Mark. I'm an old member from the United stand on the Bundesliga coming back this season, says Ray. Thanks for your super chat, Ray. Yeah, so we've tweaked the Bundesliga deal this year. So, whereas last year we had every Friday night game, this year we've got about 15. But we basically negotiated to be able to prioritise Premier League games on a Friday night. We always had it if Man United were on a Friday night, we'd watch Man United. But there was just a few last year where I was like, there was a Friday night game that we couldn't do. So we have got Bundesliga games, and we will. I think our first one's in a couple of weeks, and I, love doing it. But if there's a Premier League game on a Friday night, we do have the opportunity to say we're going to do that. I think Jackson and Delap went on cheap in this market. We easily lost 30 million combined. Rub, you are taking the piss. How about a review system like DRS in cricket instead of VAR? You get 3 reviews only. Each team has one person in the stand to decide, says Jason. The trouble with review systems, Jason. Hold on, Semenyo. Oh, I thought Haaland was going to get another. The only problem with what you're suggesting there, Jason, is that if we had a review system, everything we're praising about this season and the speed of the game and the flow, which is the thing you want in football, you would lose in the review system. So football's not like rugby or cricket or the NFL, which are all sports I enjoy, but in them sports I expect stop-start. In the Premier League and in football, I want to see the game flow. Do you think Carrick has it in him to sub Bruno, says Sanchez? Yeah, I think Bruno could be subbed in a game if we were 3-0 up. I don't think you'd sub Bruno if you're losing or it's 0-0. It's starting to get dark at night, isn't it now? It's 8:20 in the UK. And it's almost dusk. Oh, it's 2-0. Oh, what a miss by Foden. Get your shirt over your face, because that's shit. That might sound harsh, but I'd score that. You'd score that. He's got so much time on his strong foot as well. He's leant back, everybody. Terrible miss. Should have been 2-0. Shoulda, woulda, but coulda. Do you like Haaland? I never really liked... I liked him at Dortmund. But at Man City, I've never really liked him. But I really liked him for Norway in the World Cup. So at the moment, I'm probably still in the mode where I do like him. Look, I think if he played for Man United, you'd bloody worship him, wouldn't you? It's because he plays for City. Let's get real. But City are going through the gears here a little bit. And Palace are struggling to deal... What? Feet by Riley. I think he got delusions of grandeur there and went for the shot. Donald says, did you lose the Bundesliga, Mark? Oh, mate, how many times are we going to get asked this question? Third time in the first 22 minutes. It was literally released today on their press release that we're still working with the Bundesliga. We have a minimum of 15 games, but we are allowed to prioritise the Premier League if there's a Premier League game, which is why we are doing the Crystal Palace Man City game tonight and the Liverpool game next Friday. But we have, I can't remember what the first game is we've got, but we will have it, yeah. If only we had a 6'5" striker that gets crosses in like that, says Ashish. Thanks, pal. If you tuned in a little bit late, you missed my amazing rendition and tribute to Dolly Parton. Nine till 5. Mark, what do you think of Liverpool's attack with the arrival of Barcola? Still no right-wing Salah replacement. Can Barcola play tomorrow? He's not done his medical yet, has he? Javed says, bruh, Foden's left-footed too, so it makes so much sense. So it makes it so much worse, yes. Apparently Barcola can't play tomorrow. Bouadi's on the bench for City. I don't think I've heard anything about Barcola to Liverpool yet. They've not done the official stuff, have they? PSG are losing, apparently. PSG always start the season bad, though, don't they? Like, they had a really bad start to the season last year. But yeah, Barcola deal's not been completed yet. We are live, just to let you know, this weekend, we've got, obviously, Man City Palace here. 12:30 tomorrow. Anfield for Liverpool against Forest. And then, I think, game of the weekend, 5:30 tomorrow. I'm going to have a takeaway tomorrow as well. Probably not while I'm doing the watch-along. Spurs Newcastle, really looking forward to that. It's the game where whoever loses is in trouble and whoever wins sort of gets a little bit of respite. Barcola, medical tomorrow, apparently. Won't be playing against Forest. Ninja says, pin the Bundesliga situation in the comments. Daz says, Palace look awful, can't sustain an attack. Well, look, my hot take was Palace go down. But there was method to the madness because all their good players are gone. Their manager is gone. And they're also going to have to play in the Europa League. And I just don't... It's so difficult. I've seen United play in the Europa League and struggle in the Premier League at the weekend. So I think it's going to be very difficult for Crystal Palace this season. And they don't seem to have bought... I mean, have they bought anybody? I know they did the swap deal with Dwight McNeil and Brennan Johnson, but Dwight McNeil, Kalali, who's at right wing back, they spent about £20 million on from Union St. Galli's. Gozo from Salt Lake, who's 19, who is on their bench. He might come on. Keep an eye out for him, the number 12. And then a few free transfers like Tomiyasu and Disasi. But I think it's a pretty uninspiring transfer window from Palace. It's got vibes of Wolves. It reminds me of what Wolves did, where you can't keep selling off all your good players for profit, you know? Are you doing a FC27 career mode? Yes, I had the beta. Again, last 2 years I've had the beta. And I did quite enjoy it. So, yeah, it might be the last one I do. But because I'm going to do a playthrough of GTA 6 later in the year, I thought if it's to be the end of the, the gaming streams, go out on a blaze of glory. Robin Hood says, I think Villa will go down. I don't. Lovely ball here. Nico O'Reilly's got loads of space. He's going to be on his left foot, though. Cherky, lovely feet. Oh, it's good. Oh, I thought it was going to drop to O'Reilly, and Henderson just grabs hold of it. Seb says, it's the same sporting director Wolves had as well. Oh, my God. That's mad. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy, if that's true. So apparently, according to Seb in the chat, they've got the same sporting director that Wolves had. They are giving me Wolves vibes, Pallet. It's too early in the transfer window to say they're going down, but I did say it before a ball was kicked. And also, for them to go down, one of Palace, Ipswich, and Hull have got to be good. Although I did the Hull. Obviously, I did the Ipswich preview on the United stand because we're playing them on Sunday, and I think Ipswich have bought quite well. Talking about the Bundesliga, they bought Palacios in from Leverkusen. He's a good midfielder for them. Foden's having a stinker, says Alain. Big season for Foden, isn't it? Haaland's head game is the best in the business. And yet that just sounds wrong, Books. I know what you mean in a football sense, but it is Friday night. Hi, Mark. Do you remember Steve Coppell at United, who also managed Palace for years? I don't remember him at Man United. It was before my time, Luke, because I think he played in the 70s and maybe the early 80s, but that would have been way before me. But I do remember him as the manager of Crystal Palace. And in fact, I think he was the manager of Crystal Palace when we played them in the final in 1990. Who do you think will get top four? Well, it's very early in the... I think I put Chelsea in 5th and Man United, Liverpool and City and Arsenal in the top 4. And I might be right. I do think it will be that top 5. I think it will be Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. But let's see what Chelsea do against Brighton at the weekend. And I'll tell you what, if Chelsea get a 6-point start... Guess who they've got game 3? Arsenal. Super Sunday. A week on Sunday. What a game. Jeff says, I can see an Ipswich win this weekend. I can't. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I can't see it because if we lost 2 games in the first 2 games to newly promoted teams, no, it's just not worth thinking about. Good defending there by Palace. Hi, Mark. I've done that one. Book, thank you very much for your super chat there. Thoughts on Lamine Kamara to Chelsea, says Kyle. All I can say about that is the same as Sangari. Obviously, we have a community here, but on the United stand, we've been looking to buy midfielders for a few months now, and obviously we've got our 3 midfielders, but one name that kept coming up was Sangari and Kamara. And not from me. I wouldn't know enough about them, but it could be a good signing. What do you think of Rory's predictions of this week's fixtures? I love your prediction video. Well, I didn't know Rory's because he recorded his and I recorded mine separately because I thought it'd be cheating to know his first. But then I thought, well, we do that when we do it live. So I've got them written down here. I mean, one that jumped out where I think he's really wrong is Ipswich getting a draw and United not winning. I think he'll be wrong on that one. But I am leading 4-3, aren't I? I'm sure that's what it was. 4-3 to me, I think. Mark, will the Bundesliga streams be available for US viewers? Love from Houston. No, they never were, Jason. It's always just UK and Ireland. Yeah. Mark, will the Bundesliga stream... Just on the Bundesliga streams, because we had a few people talk about them. Last season, we had every Friday night game with the match footage. which we absolutely loved doing. And I do sort of miss it. I've got to say, I loved those Bundesliga streams on a Friday night, especially in the autumn. But they will be back. We have got 15 games minimum, and we can do more. But the deal we did was that if there's a Premier League game on a Friday night, unlike last season where we committed to doing Bundesliga games, if there's a Premier League game on a Friday night, we can do the Premier League game. We can do both. Like, I could get like Rory to do a watch along and I'd do the Bundesliga game, or we can just not do the Bundesliga game and just do the Premier League game. So we've got that freedom this year that we didn't have last year. That's a yellow card for Cherky. Yeah. Pulled him back. Yeah. Did you see the video by the Hull admin? Yeah, I replied to it on X Jam. I said, thank you, very good, but you're still getting relegated. Who's the most handsome in the league? Says Rick. You tell us. Would it be possible to add a graphic that keeps score on the prediction videos? It would be easier for us to follow who has what points. Oh, I thought Palace had equalised with Strand Larsen. Cross came in. It would have been as good a header as Haaland's, to be fair. But I suppose that's the difference between Erling Haaland and he would have been offside anyway. And Haaland would have scored that. To be fair, he's still got a kneel down. To be fair, if that had gone in, it would have been a good header, but he was offside anyway. On the graphic, I don't know whether Matt, the producer's watching. I mean, could we upload a graphic of some sort that goes on the screen? I mean, it's a pre-record. We probably could. I think it's a fair shout. Palace on the attack again. That's a good cross. It's not a good cross. It's over here. I watch Hull v Man United fan reactions to have a laugh. I'm a Leeds fan, says Tom. You've had a good start to the season, Tom. Anthony says, Mark, what would be your advice for people interested in the career you have in terms of football content creation? Honestly, forget it. I'm too talented to be replicated, and you'd just be wasting your time trying to copy me. At the end of the day, there's only one Elvis Presley, and there's only one Mark Goldbridge. So I can't give you any advice because I am the best by a very long way. So you'd be wasting your time. No, seriously, serious advice. I was asked, it must be time of the year. I was asked this on the United Stand earlier. We're always looking to work with talented people, especially in light of the deal we've just done with the overlap. We're always looking for people. There's a lot of content creators out there. To be honest, I wouldn't waste oxygen on them. I think a lot of them are just very... They're not. It's not that they're bad. I always respect people who do this, but there's not many authentic people out there who have the conviction to be... There's a lot of people who will swear and be offensive and be abusive and aggressive. But there's not many people that actually call out the real issues in football, whether it's the PGMOL, whether it's Man City, whether it's the ownership. So I look around this content creation world and I don't see a lot of people that really excite me or interest me. There's one or two. But so if you were going to walk into this space or any influencer space, I always think it's important to be yourself and then just wait and see. You might get lucky like me, but definitely have something to say and be courageous enough to say it. Because when I started, oh God, the sleepless nights I had because of the abuse. But that's because I was saying things I believed in. Like when I first started, basically started off saying, I think Fellaini's shit. I think he's absolute shit. I used to get people giving me all sorts of abuse. You're not a fan, Fellaini this. But it's, you've got to be yourself. And I think you've got to be, ooh, Jeremy, a little bit late on Haaland there. Don't think it would be reviewed as a red because he wasn't really looking. But one of them slow-mo reds maybe, but it won't be a red. Won't be a red. Why isn't Sarr playing, says Lee? I don't know. I presume it's because of Liverpool. Oh, have I showed you this? Look at this. I got sent this by... they'll love me because I did it on my Instagram, but look, this is even better. Look at the size of that box, right? Got sent that by FC27, FC Mobile, okay? And you open the box, you get... I mean, I never understand what that's all about. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Do I get, like, does that mean I get Zidane when the game happens, or do I just use it as a cup mat? Get one of these icons things. There's no barcode. Oh, FC Mobile. Moments make icons. A moment no one saw coming. Oh no, that's FC Mobile. But look at this. I've already got a Zidane black Real Madrid shirt. Remember that? Proper Real Madrid shirt with Zidane on the back. Probably just use it to just... No, I won't. It's good though, isn't it? You could sell it for thousands. I don't think I could sell it for thousands. I imagine there's probably loads of them in circulation. WC Bush says, what happened to Foden? He looks so bad. I can't believe it's nearly half time already. This is definitely fast flowing, isn't it? I think Phil Foden has always been a very, very talented player. But something went wrong last season that was just strange. He didn't deserve to go to the World Cup, which is not good enough for someone of his quality. He should be going to the World Cup. And it's only game 2, but he doesn't look quite at the office, does he? I don't know what it is with Foden, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know. I'm glad I asked you to sing 9 to 5. It was 6, says Oliver. Clip it up. Get it on TikTok. Goldbridge tribute to Dolly. Rest in peace. I want to see numbers on that like Aga do. Mark, it's funny that people think some of us fans are negative. Well, when your club operates worse than Spurs and Chelsea, you have to be negative, says Ashish. Oh, yeah, you've got to say what you think. Absolutely. Thanks for your super chats. Financial Shorts Reel says, what do you think about other big United channels? Well, there aren't any. I mean, last time I checked, the United Stand's got 2-point-something million subscribers, and there is no one else with even 900,000. So there are no other big United channels. There are other United channels. And I would say that I respect any content creator who puts the hours in, day out, to build a community. So they have my respect. It's not easy. Apparently I missed another super chat. Mitchell, I think Ipswich stay up by 10 points plus. That's a hot take. That is a hot take. Well, look, Palace have come back into this game a bit. But it really should be 2-0 at least to City, because Foden's missed a couple. Certainly one sitter. Joseph says he'll probably score at some point. Well, in a team like this, he probably will. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in, by the way. Nearly 12,000 as we approach half-time. And Nketiah picks it up on the counter. I just don't rate Nketiah. And look, he's probably a lovely lad. In fact, I know people who know him, and he is a lovely lad. But you know what? Being a lovely lad doesn't mean I can't say I don't think you're very good at football at this level. I just think Arsenal did such a good deal. I just do not rate him. I really do not rate him. Wharton's down injured here. I think he's all right. I think it was just a collision. I think he's a championship striker. I don't think he's even a lower league. Well, Crystal Palace are bottom half the table team, really, aren't they? I think he's a championship striker. I think he's one of those players that has gone to a level higher than he actually is. Would you have him in your Baller League team? I mean, he'd definitely be good in a Baller League team. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He's just not that. Erica says, you missed my super chat about the Norwegian king. I didn't. I said, rest in peace, King Harold. Former king of Norway, who sadly died, I think, yesterday. Which was your favourite rivalry? Arsenal versus United or Chelsea United? Definitely 98 to 2004 United Arsenal was the best rivalry I think the Premier League's ever had. And I'm not taking any other rivalry away. I mean, some people liked Man City Liverpool. As you said, United Chelsea was a good one as well. But the Arsenal United rivalry was the best because Wenger Fergie was absolutely proper. When we played each other, it was violent, and obviously had the Keane and Vieira stuff as well. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant rivalry. It really was. And look, I would love to be able to say, because Liverpool are our biggest rivals and we're their biggest rival. I'd love it if we'd had a 4 or 5 year rivalry with Liverpool for the title, but we've just never. It's never connected at the same time, which is weird. Foden, good cross. Haaland nearly did it again. Didn't quite get it right with the header that time. I can't believe how quick this half has gone. But whilst it's 1-0, Palace has still got a chance. I think the minute it goes to 2-0. Mbaye from PSG to Villa for 47 million mark. I don't know much about Mbaye, Dino. I know a lot of people think he's really good. I haven't seen that much of him. How good do we think he actually is? Because I know Liverpool were potentially looking at him. But there's a lot of excitement about it. The thing about Villa is, oh my God, Palace trying to play out from the back, and they have done it. The thing about Villa is, it's going to be very, very hard for Villa to get so much right so quickly because Tielemans, Rodgers, Watkins, Digne, Martinez, Konza, half your team and most of it down the spine. Can Maresca do a sloth EPL win? Pep was already rebuilding that team. Who's the sloth? Oh, I know what you mean. Did you not? Have you misspelt that and put a H on the end? Because you're talking about slot, aren't you, Emmanuel? Look, I predicted Man City will win the league. I think it's a bit out there, to be honest. Arsenal should win the league. I just thought it was boring to say Arsenal, so I went with Man City. Palace with a bit of space down the right-hand side here. We've only got a minute left of the half. And what the fuck was that shit? I mean, I feel embarrassed for the new signing there. Palace got some space on the wing and absolutely... I think the manager's saying, what's that shit? It was absolutely terrible. What's your favourite ever moment on this channel, says Bailey? I enjoyed the watch along when Real Madrid beat Liverpool in the Champions League final. I enjoyed the penalty shootout against Colombia because that's one of the happiest I've been in football because England never win a penalty shootout. I actually really enjoyed England-Mexico. I thought that was iconic. It's just a shame we were so shit in the semi-final, but I did enjoy that. 3-0 to Palace was on the United stand. So, yeah. Toblerone United stand. I think some of you are getting mixed up. That's football. Did you take an interest in non-league football? Or do you take an interest in non-league football, says that Jimbo. I'm a FC Farsley fan, and do you think the FA Cup will have another upset like Maidstone did before? I don't really take a lot of interest in non-league football. In fact, today was the first time I checked the league table for the National League, and Solihull Moors, which is my local team, are bottom, which is great. Not. So no, I don't really take a massive interest in it, to be honest. I know Birmingham City are playing the playing Wrexham tonight, and they're beating them 1-0 at half-time in Wrexham. I probably would have watched that if I hadn't been watching this, but it's half-time here, and to be fair, at least Palace have got some hope, because it could easily have been 2-0 if Foden had took his chance. But whilst it's 1-0, there is still a chance for Palace. But, I mean, who is this manager for Palace, by the way? Like, where have they got him from? I don't really know a hell of a lot about him. Pierre Sage. It just looks like a guy that's not going to do very well. So, 47, was the Lens manager last year, and was Lyon before that. Yeah. He got them to the French final. And he also secured a second place finish. Which, I mean, that's very, to be fair, just because he doesn't look like he's going to do very well, he has done very well with Lens. Took them to second in League One and got them to the cup final as well. So he did do very well. Why has he not bought some players from there, though? Because they need to buy some players. Angry Brit, thanks for your super chat. He says, based on the Champions League draw this week, what's your top 4 prediction? What, in the Champions League or in the Premier League? How does the what are you saying? Like the Champions League draw will impact? I mean, I think Man City's Champions League fixtures are very difficult. I think Liverpool's are quite straightforward, and I think Arsenal and Man United's and Villa's. Well, I think Villa's are quite tough as well. Look, I think Chelsea top 4 is a good shout. I still think Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, City will be the others competing for it. Yeah. Crutches says, how many Lego bricks can you... Yeah, we'll move on from that. Where do you see United in the next 5 to 10 years? In the same position as the last 5 to 10 years, mate. I don't think we'll get relegated or anything like that. I just think we'll keep having all this shit that we've had for the last 10 years. Nick P says, seeing Tuchel in the crowd is like seeing a girlfriend who dumped you in the summer. Yeah, it's too soon, isn't it? Way too soon. Ryle says, evening Mark, I ask, with all the projects you're taking on this year, does it sometimes become very difficult to maintain that work-health balance? Now, I never get asked interesting questions like this. So I feel like probably for the last 4 years, maybe longer, there's always been something that happens in the year that I didn't really expect. And we've had the Sidemen charity game the first time round. That was a great big thing. I think I did my book 2 or 3 years ago. Last year we had the Bundesliga, and I started the deal with the overlap. Obviously I did Baller League in March as well. Stick to United with Rooney this couple of weeks ago. Some big announcements coming up on this channel in the next few weeks as well. So it always feels like there is stuff coming all the time. But, I mean, I watched Gordon Ramsay's documentary on Netflix, and having worked a bit with Gary Neville, I think people like Gordon Ramsay and Gary are on a completely different level of working. It's incredible. And the stress someone like Gordon Ramsay must have as well, because it's just so many moving parts all around the world. I've always, in short, Ryle, I've always valued work-life balance. I think you have to. No one's going to remember us in 100 years. So if you work yourself to death, if you don't get something out of life and the people you care about, why do you do it? You know, a millionaire and all of his family could be on a boat that sinks, and all that money goes to people he doesn't even care about. And they probably don't really care about his legacy either, or hers. So I think you have to have a balance, definitely. But that balance is not like, let's go on holiday tomorrow. The balance is you work hard and you have time away as well. I think people think to have a work-life balance, it's about, you know, popping down the park and playing tennis. There is time to work and there is time to, you know, have that balance as well. So yeah, I think for me it's very important. Like this summer has been really great because in the 6 weeks holidays, after I do the 8 o'clock show, we normally sit and watch a film on Disney. Not because we're sponsored by Disney on Stick to United, but we are. But we normally watch a film on Disney because it's got things like Three Men and a Baby from the 80s, Look Who's Talking, Uncle Buck. We've been watching all those with Seb, which is just, it's his first time watching them, and it's great. I want to ask something. What age do you think is too young to watch Jaws? I'm not saying Seb watched it when he was 6, but he's definitely somebody that when I was watching it the other day knows a lot about that film. Five's too young, says Jacob. 13, says Meza. I just think he's one of those kids that just isn't bothered by that sort of stuff. I mean, when I was growing up, I lived in rural Nottinghamshire, which is 2 hours away from the sea. And that sea is freezing cold and shit brown. But when I watched Jaws when I was about 12, I couldn't sleep one night because I thought Jaws was coming up the stairs. Doesn't make any sense. But I was absolutely shitting myself. I genuinely thought he was coming up the stairs. I mean, how would he get up the stairs? How would he turn? Doesn't make any sense. What's your favourite done that one? It's on TikTok, Mark, says Oliver. What? Who? What? Who? I don't even know where my bloody phone is. I'm getting old. I don't even know where my bloody phone is. Leave it. We'll have a look. Thank you very much. I need to turn my fan up. I'm getting a bit hot. Why does Tielemans look leggy for United but not Villa or Belgium? Always feels like players look slower at United. Maybe it's just me, says Siraj. I don't think Tremors is a brilliant film. Oh, I'm going to write that down. I wonder if Tremors is on Disney, because that's such a good film. I love that. I remember watching that in class at secondary school. Where to watch? Apparently it's on Now TV. I love that film. Kevin Bacon. Sky Go. You can watch it. Anyway, back to the football. Do you think Palace can get back into this, Mark? Yeah. I mean, 1-0 in this Premier League, you just never know, do you? You really, you never do know. So, they could definitely get back into it. However, Man City do look very strong. And probably should be out of sight. The games they've had. You know what? Oh, God, I'm just looking at some thumbnails on YouTube. Am I wrong? Aren't we meant to be getting better as a human race in 2026? Like, the amount of AI slop being used by people in the football industry, it's so obviously fucking AI. You see aggregators doing it on X. You've got YouTubers doing it on YouTube for their thumbnails. It's so shit. I've been in this game for 10 years. I can spot a shit thumbnail by AI a mile off. And you know these shitty AI images they're doing with the black backgrounds? It's wank. It's not appealing. It doesn't look very good. Stop doing it. The invasion of AI slop in the football industry imagery is just massively irritating. It's so crap. I go back about 4 years ago. There were some really good graphic designers out there doing, and it takes them time to do it, but really good graphic design images and thumbnails. And it's so shit now. It's so fucking shit. People type into some AI system, give me a thumbnail of Erling Haaland preparing for a Crystal Palace game. And you can see it's AI a mile off. It's fucking rubbish. If it was good, I'd go, oh my God, you know, graphic designers, rest in peace. But not that AI is going around finishing them, but imagine that, like Terminator knocking on the door. Are you Steve, the graphic designer? Yes. Yeah, by the way, we know what happens in Terminator. But it is so shit. And it does need calling out. Because, like I say, 4 years ago, the imagery in the football Twitter and YouTube space was brilliant. You know, people like Drawty Devil, etc. This AI crap, it's rubbish. I put you singing on my TikTok and tagged you in it. Please leave a comment if you find it. Says Oliver Sharp. I will have a look when I get my phone. Oh, just having a look. I've just been told by Matt, our graphic designer, that he can do predictions graphics for the next Premier League predictions. See, sometimes the community asks and we will deliver. Nick says, Mark, I think United have to do, and then he's left it. I prefer your thumbnails, Mark, look more professional. Yeah, because we actually use graphic designers on everything. We don't use AI on anything. And I think if you are a media company or I tell you what, there's an advice for you. If you're a content creator, don't use fucking AI. I saw Terry the other day using it on a Twitter post, and I was that tempted to message him and say, what are you doing? But look, Terry's a grown person. I like Terry, and maybe he was in a rush, but don't use fucking AI for cutting corners. You'll never make it. You'll never make it. Get a good graphic designer, definitely. Neil says you missed my super chat. I haven't missed your fucking super chat, Neil. We're having a chat about something else. I'm going through them now. I get irritated, right, because Neil has done a super chat and then he spends more money saying you've missed my super chat. He doesn't need to do I've missed your super chat because I will go back through it anyway. Lucas, welcome to Members Club. Thank you. Tion says, having a big audience, would you choose fame again? What? I don't know what that means. How many points do United get out of those 8 Champions League fixtures? I reckon 12 defeats to Como, Bayern and Atleti. Oh yeah, you can only get 21 points, can't you? Yeah, I don't think United will get in the top 8, but I do think we'll get into the qualifiers. So yeah. I put your singing on my TikTok. Thank you, Oliver. Players coming out for the second half. I watched Saving Private Ryan at 7. It was a life changer, Sages says OT. I've never watched Saving Private Ryan again. I watched it once, and it was just one of them films where I decided I'd never watch it again. There's a certain scene in it where he sticks the knife into the person from Friends really slowly, and I don't really care to watch that again. So, yeah. And I don't really like watching films if you're going to skip a bit. So, like your gradient mugs, never seen an array of colours so far. Colour guessing leaderboard coming soon, says Guardian. These are very good mugs, actually. Le Crusoe, they're very good. I got them last Christmas as a present for Mrs. And they are very good mugs. I should be on commission, really. Right, I think they've brought their new signing on here. No, they haven't. I thought Palace had brought their new signing on there. Robbie's forfeit, says Endic. Take it up with Robbie. It's got nothing to do with me. Obviously, I beat Robbie, and we're using Rory this year, but the forfeit is not for me to do. If he wants to come up and do it, we'll definitely film it. Palace window similar to Man United, trying to find bargains, not willing to spend more money than we need. Had someone in for a medical stay and it failed. Benbow, you're right. Your window is absolutely very similar to ours, but the problem with you is it not also similar to Wolves? I think when you're Man United and you're unambitious, you've sometimes got the squad to maybe still get top 5. I think if you're Crystal Palace and you sell your players and you don't replace them in a competitive Premier League where you, even with all your good players, you'd probably only be looking at 10th. The drop-off could put you into relegation. Jonathan's planning on a trip to England next year. Can you give me some ideas on where to go? Already plan on going to a United game, but still, says Jonathan. So definitely, I'll give you 4 cities you've got to go to. Don't listen to the chat because they're hidden gems and they just don't want you to go because they'll probably be there. So if you're going to United, great. Definitely go to Slough. That's where they made The Office. It's amazing. It's got a theme park. It's where Ricky Gervais lives. Stoke, people say it's rubbish. The weather's fantastic. It's got a lovely beach. There's loads to do. Hull is basically, they call it the English Monaco. Amazing scenery, wealth, and an amazing harbour. And where else? Bradford. Yeah, it's the North London, really. It's got more attractions than London, and it's cheaper. So, and if you've got time, Luton, which is basically like New York. Yeah. Mark, planning on... So, Jonathan, get them written down. Siraj, thank you. Who will be Tottenham's biggest impact signing, says Lord Bomber? I think it's got to be Tonali. It's got to be Tonali. Semenu. Corner. Neil, this is your super chat. This is your moment. Hi, Mark. Can you make a video on your own channel about your days working in the police force? I think I've already done it. I used to do Going for Goldbridge, didn't I? Where I used to speak about it. KY says, thoughts on 50 million move for... Oh, God, mate, you're just never going to catch me out on these. First name Eric, second name Shun to Chelsea. I mean, maybe 10 years ago. Not now. Corner to Man City. What stockings to get my missus for 2-week anniversary, says Crutches. I should be on commission because I could give you a website. I'm not giving people free shout-outs anymore if I'm not going to get any free products out of it. I think you should go to Luton and Scunthorpe, says Trost. See, I've never been Scunthorpe, but I've heard good things about it. Nick says, I always think if you're one of those people who super chats that you've missed my super chat, you better have said something good to say or face banter, says Nick. It was a good question by Neil, to be fair. Ray says, sorry, I missed the forfeit this season. What is it? We haven't decided on it yet. We're going to basically, next week when Rory's back, we'll mention it on the video and then we'll look at the comments. I personally think the forfeit needs to be something that happens on the final game week, because the problem with Robbie's was wear the new kit ahead of the new season and then we didn't get to do another season. So we need something that needs to happen and gets arranged straight away. My favourite forfeit was when my Baller League team, which, you know, was basically a massive underdog because we came into it late, against KSI's, you know, paid for with thousands of pounds team, and the forfeit was he had to wear a Spurs shirt if we lost, and I had to wear, was it, well, I don't even know, I don't even know what shirt I had to wear because we were never going to bloody lose. Oh, it's nearly 1-1. Cut back for Palace, and I presume it was, yeah. Usual. Guess who missed? One guess. You won't need another one. Cut back. I think it's by Mitchell. Guess who missed the sitter for Palace? There can only be one. Yeah, begins with ends with a H, begins with an N. It's got a K in it. Nketiah. Hell answers to me for I am doomed, says Brian. You've got no idea how powerful AI will be. I'm sure it will be very powerful, Daniel. At what point did I say AI was shit? I said people using it for thumbnails and football imagery at the moment, it's slop. What do you think about Chelsea this year, and do you think they are genuine contenders? Alonso so far has them playing liquid football. Look, it's way too early to say that Chelsea are contenders. It is way too early. Brighton on Saturday will be a difficult game, and if they drew or lost that, then the bubble bursts. And even if they win that, their next game is Arsenal at the Emirates. So I think let's judge Chelsea after a few games. But they do look good. They do look good. I'm not going to lie. But it is only one game. But I think they've got a lot of hungry players as well, haven't they? Good play by Semenyo. Lots of crosses coming into the box. Here's Gahey. City will want the second goal here. What are you doing tonight? I was out last night. I had a few beers last night. I was down in Octagon. Was I not? No, I wasn't in Octagon. I was in Knoll. I was in Dorwich. I was in the Skogan, which is a bar. Freedom 4, if you've ever had it. There's a couple of bars around me where you go in and they don't do like Asahi or Hawkstone or Peroni. They do like, what do they call them? I don't know. Their own ales. Freedom 4 it is. Nice. So I was out last night, and then if I go out for a few beers, I'm zonked when I get home. So tonight, I've not had a drink tonight, so it'll be a nice clean night. So I'll probably stay up and watch something. I've started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Craft ales, that's what they're called. Yeah, Rooney recommended Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I'm amazed I've never watched it, because it's right up my street, that sort of docu-comedy office sort of thing. So I might watch a couple of those, although I feel like I want to watch a film. Anderson shoots over the bar. Has anyone ever watched Predestination? Says Ashish. Never heard of it. I'll tell you what. There's a lot of good TV coming out. Now, I've never really noticed it in the UK. I think if you live in the United States, I know a few people who are American, and they always say to me about TV, it's shit in the summer, and then all the good stuff comes out in the fall. But there is a lot of good stuff coming out in the fall, or as we call it, autumn. Foden. Cherky, lovely feet, Cherky. Oh, it's another good goal by Manchester City. Foden with the pass. Magical feet by Cherky. He's going to be a very special player, isn't it? Isn't he? It's a lovely goal. It really is. He took it so well. It's those feet, they're just so... What's going on here? Yeah, his feet are just so quick. I'm waiting for the replay, that's why. So, Foden wins it, attacks the penalty box, plays it into Cherky. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 or 4 players there. And no one can get a tackle in. Just quick feet, quick close control, through the legs of what? I tell you what, that's a bloody good goal, that. Does he purposely poke it through the legs? Slow it down. No, I don't think it goes through the legs, but he pokes it. Here it is. Look at the feet here. Oh, it's like one of them slalom skiers. Yeah, it's a good goal. It's great feet. It's great feet by Cherki. Elliot Anderson's getting booked here. Probably about right. Apparently it's breaking that Villa are going to sign Mbaye, according to Mark Coldwell. I mean, you might be on slow internet, mate, because most of us knew about that a while ago. But Tyres on Netflix is an absolute hidden gem, says Rocket Fox. Well, it's a good free kick position for Palace. Let's wait and see. Sebas. What a goal. That's my clean sheet gone. Fucking hell. I mean, look. Jeremy has just scored an absolute worldie there. I mean, it's a great... I mean, Donnarumma's clean sheet points are gone in FPL, but I don't really care about that. What a free kick. I mean, wait till you see this one again. That is 2-1 and game on. I mean, this is a... I sound like a motorbike. That is... Phil Foden would do that, and I would as well. I mean, you just don't save those. I think it's one of those ones where it goes off the post. Oh, no. It's going to go down as an OG for... Oh, he's going to get points deducted for an OG now. I think that's really harsh on Jeremy, but it's a bloody brilliant free kick, though. But you can't save those. You can't save those. Absolutely brilliant free kick. By the way, Pierre Sage managed Cherki at Lyon. Sebas says, have you ever played with Grokbot yet? If not, someone of your team should check it out. Will change the efficiency game forever. I presume that's something to do with... Musk. What about Mitchell for left back Mark? I mean, at this late stage, can Ipswich afford another 20 million for Drew? Oh yeah, they're not cute. They're not getting any better. Who do you think deserves the Ballon d'Or, Mark? Says Sponge. I mean, I'd like to see Harry Kane get it. I don't think because you win the World Cup you should get it. Do you think Arsenal should get Alvarez? I was speaking to somebody last Sunday. Hey, says Steady on Goldbridge. I was speaking to somebody the other day and they said to me, Alvarez is not the sort of deal Arsenal can do in 4 days. It's too big of a deal and Atletico Madrid wouldn't have time to get a replacement in. So I know there's some Arsenal fans who are hopeful, but do you watch Japanese anime? Says Arkham. No. What watch-alongs are you doing this weekend, says David. So, Liverpool Forest tomorrow lunchtime at 12:30. Spurs Newcastle at 5:30. And then Man United Ipswich on the United stand on Sunday at 4:30. And then back on here for Monday night, Villa against Arsenal. Some good games. Oh, he's done it again. He's done it again. I tell you what, if you've got Cherki in your FPL, go and get him if you haven't. Because he might be a very valuable player this season. I don't know whether there's a deflection on this, but there are people predicting that he might be the star player this season. In fact, I think it was Bruno Fernandes who said a certain player at Man City could break his assist record. Well, he ain't getting any assists tonight, is he? But he's getting 2 goals. They're very slow on the replays, aren't they? Have they always been this slow on the replays on the Premier League? Really slow. It's Vardiel with the assist. Maybe a bit of a deflection. Let's have a look. I don't know. I don't know whether there's a deflection on it or it's just pure power. We need to slow that down a little bit. Yeah, deflection. Yeah. The deflection beats Henderson. But look, I think it's one of those ones where you hit it and it goes in. Wow. Crisis. What crisis? 6 from 6 for Man City. I think you might be right, Mark. Palace might be going down. I mean, look, I have predicted they'll go down, but there are a lot of points to play for Palace. I mean, they've got Ipswich next Saturday. No, they haven't. They've got Fulham away, and then they've got Ipswich, and they've got Leeds. Arsenal. Mitchell looks good. Why didn't we go for him? Says Armin. I think he's done that one. Still half an hour to go. I mean, the game's flying by. How do you think Newcastle will do this year? Mid-table, Lewis. Yeah. The Shrew says you're about 15 seconds ahead of my dodgy box. You're ruining the surprise. Yeah, well, we're not all going to wait 15 seconds to sink in with you, Lewis, but... thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so answers is I might watch a few episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it's bank holiday weekend. I almost feel like doing a Bond-a-thon. I was watching Bond last night, actually. Actually, I tell a lie. I got in from the pub last night, and I fell asleep watching the last Bond, which I refused to watch again after I watched it in the cinema, but I did watch some of it last night. Here's Cherky on a hat-trick. Lovely feet again. Playing with confidence now, City. Yeah, could Maresca do a slot? Baby, when I... Has anyone watched the Kylie? I'm not watching that. Nearly said that out loud. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Please do subscribe. Big season ahead. Can you tell us what you've got coming up on this channel? No. Gary, you go mad. Oh, no, I can't steal his thunder. Yeah, I'm a bit of a tramp tonight. I'm all right from the top. I'm like a newsreader. I'm all right from the top up, but I'm wearing jogging bottoms on the bottom. A lot of newsreaders do that. You know, when you watch the news and they're sat there with their shirt and tie on, a lot of them are wearing shorts. Do you think Cherky could be player of the season? Well, you never know because of injury and loss of form, etc. But I think everybody knows Cherky's got that potential. Again, another player that people think United should have gone for, but we ain't got the ambition. What about... yeah, so I'm not going to tell you what we've got to come on That's Football, although every time I go to talk about it, I nearly give the name away. However, it'll be in the next few weeks that you know. I think it's in the next few weeks that you know. Yeah. Here's Semenyo. Vardiel just needs to dink the cross. Foden keeps it in. Look, being as it's 3-1 now, from a completely selfish fantasy Premier League point of view, I could do with a Donnarumma hat-trick and a couple more for Haaland. Do you think anyone will challenge Bayern this year, says Swank? No. No, I was actually surprised Bayern didn't win the Champions League last year. Who did I predict was going to win the Champions League this year? I think I said Real Madrid. What do you think about Anderson, says David? Brilliant player. Anderson gets hold of that. Here's a question. Would you take Cherky, but it means United don't beat Lyon that night in the Europa and Lyon win instead? Says PS Fieldcase. I don't want to ruin the surprise, mate, but we lost the Europa League final to Spurs anyway. So I was having this conversation with someone in the pub last night. England beating Mexico was an amazing night, but it means fuck all because we lost to Argentina in a cowardly way in the semi-final. So, of course, I would lose to Lyon and get Cherky because we didn't win the bloody Europa League anyway. I don't care about winning a quarter-final if you don't win the tournament. Can we get a watch-along in the buff? Q, no. If Liverpool get a 6, they'll win the league, says Tyrone. Are you looking for a 6, though? I've not heard anything about Liverpool looking for a midfielder. I mean, you could have Kone. Kone would be a decent shout from Roma. I don't know whether Liverpool have been linked. Man City were looking at one point. I loved that Mexico night. It was so good. I thought that the transfer of Cherky to Man City for 35 million and no other club even inquired about him was strange, says Nicholas. Yeah, it was. You're right. Well, Palace on the attack here. I mean, if they could get another one back, you never know. It's been a good game, though. I mean, I've got to be honest, I don't really normally do a Man City watch-along unless they're playing someone I think that's going to beat them. But because it's Maresca and it's new, it's like a new Man City, isn't it? I'd like to see some subs, actually. Birmingham are beating Wrexham 2-1. Wrexham did equalise, but Birmingham have gone back in front. It'd be a big win if they get that. City have not made any subs yet. Guessend has come on for Larson. I feel like Guessend is a good player, you know. I don't know why I feel like that. No, he's not. I'm getting him mixed up with someone else. He's on loan from Villa, isn't he? Yeah, he's not very good. Cherky 35 million, Savinho 85, says Rajaf. Do you think all this will get investigated in about 10 years? Look, the reason I say that is that things that get investigated years down the line happen in the present. And what I mean by that is, like, something could be going on now that comes out in 5 years' time. You know, like Chelsea paying all the agents. We never thought about it at the time. It was happening. Dylan says the hate watch isn't going so good. Mate, you're in the wrong place. I despise people calling it a hate watch. That's football stands alone as a football community. We don't do hate watches. That's not why I do it. Of course, I'd like to see Palace beat Man City, but I can also sit back and say Cherky's been fantastic and it was a brilliant header by Haaland. I just think it's like football to me is important. It's pure. It's for everybody. And I sort of noticed it last year where people started doing hate-alongs or hate-watchers. And I'm like, don't like the word hate anyway. And little bit babyish. A little bit babyish. Like, if you're doing a hate-along, just don't watch the game. You know, go out for a meal. Rubble says, I watched Cherky play like this, then have to stomach Liverpool fans still babying and making excuses for Wirtz. What a joke. He needs to step up. I do think there's a player in Wirtz. I mean, talking about Alonso, that Leverkusen side was very, very good. I mean, Frimpong surprises me as well. But then again, I think with Frimpong, I think he might just be a little bit lightweight. But I am very surprised. Then again, Kirkez at Bournemouth was very good. They have been a bit unlucky, haven't they, with some of their signings. Lovely play. Oh, nearly. No, to be fair, though, Palace have done quite a good job on Haaland. Maybe 3 centre-backs, it's a difficult system to play against, but Haaland's been, you know, not had loads of chances tonight. I do worry about Palace, though. I mean, look, as I said, I predicted they'd go down before the season started as a bit of a hot take, but I didn't have the information I had now. I didn't know they were going to sell Sarr and potentially Mateta as well. They have sold and not replaced quite a few players, haven't they? O'Reilly's been very good in the midfield. I think O'Reilly and Anderson have been very good in the midfield. I mean, I don't think O'Reilly... Well, you never know with him. I think he's such a talented player. You never know. Maybe that is the plan. Maybe O'Reilly will play in the midfield, but Boadi, not on yet. There's talk of Enzo Fernandez, who was left out of the Chelsea team last night. I do feel like they need. What have City got if Haaland gets injured though? Football Friday says, do you think Forest could go down? Well, look, Liverpool Forest tomorrow is our watch along. First chance to take a look at them. Obviously, I watched Liverpool against Newcastle last Sunday, but they've spent money, but have they spent money well? You know, you get 115 million from Elliot Anderson, and then you blow half of it on Liam Delap. So they have still got good players. Murillo stayed, which is surprising. Diamonde's a good signing from Sporting on paper. Schläger from Leipzig on a free isn't a bad signing, but these are players that are coming in from different leagues. They shouldn't go down, but Elliot Anderson is a big loss for them. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you're enjoying it here on That's Football. You're all very, very welcome. As always, big weekend coming up. Thank you for everybody who watched Premier League predictions today. Really appreciate that. Every week on a Friday, me and Rory We both went with the City win, so we're both off to a good start here. But then again, probably not a surprise that we both went with City. I could do with another Haaland goal, just purely from selfish fancy Premier League. Did everyone else captain? Who say yes in the chat if you captained Haaland. Also say yes in the chat if you think I'm amazing. Yeah, loads of people are saying yes. I think they're saying that yes to the second bit, to be honest. I'm cursed in fantasy Premier League. Yeah, Donnarumma has got 0 points because he's had -2 for the own goal. Wasted time. Haaland's on 16 because he's got two bonus points at the moment. That's all I've got. Absolutely need Man United to win well and a clean sheet. I've got Delo and Maguire at the back, and I've got Bruno. So I need United to win 4-0. I need a Maguire goal and a clean sheet. I need a Delo assist, and I need Bruno to get 3 assists and a goal. I've got Wirtz tomorrow. Do you think Konza will play? I don't know whether he will. Look how quick Kovacic was there. Who's he took off to get Kovacic on? Vardiel. So Riley's gone to left back. Kovacic comes into the midfield. Interesting comment here from Nicholas. He says, I like the style of play from this new manager. It's quite good, but they do need higher grade players at Palace. Harry says, have you met the Bov boys and how's your mental health? Are those two things connected? Because I have met the Bov boys. They're very boisterous and they could impact your mental health. No, I have met them. Weirdly, I probably met them all first playing when Ginge used to do his FIFA streams, because I think a lot of them used to play on that. I don't think I've ever met them all together. Obviously, I've met Ginge loads of times. I've seen some of them at different events and Baller League and stuff, but they all seem like really nice lads, which is something I've always said about the Sidemen, apart from KSI, and the Beta Squad. They're all really nice. I'm joking about KSI, by the way. I watched Cherky play like this, then have to... I've done that one from Rubble, thank you. Want to see Boadi, says Harley. What do you make of Vardy getting Bundesliga, says Mike? I don't have to comment on that, do I? I definitely don't want to make any comments on that. Hopefully it does really well. Neo says, why are you not live on TikTok? I don't. We're never live on TikTok. But Waddy's coming on here. Get a good 12 minutes. How's Wharton been, says Mitesh. I think Wharton's done okay. He's probably been one of Palace's better players. I mean, I do sort of look at it, and if I was Wharton's agent, I'd be like, in a transfer window where there's so much money and so many people wanting midfielders, I wonder why they didn't push for a move, especially with Palace selling all their... To me, Wharton staying at Palace makes no sense. It's the summer to make a move and make a big load of money. And also, you stay at Palace and they're selling all their players. So I find the Wharton staying at Palace thing really odd. But, you know, fair play. Mike says Bundesliga rights, sorry. Oh yeah, I know Jamie Vardy's got the Bundesliga rights as well. Because obviously we had it shared with the overlap last year. Look, I think it's great that they're... is that Thunder again? Either that or it's a big fucking plane. I think it's a plane. Yeah, it's not Thunder. Cold side of a pillow or finally taking a dump? Oh, Lisa, that's legendary, that is. What an either or. Cold side of the pillow or a dump when you're desperate. They are two distinctively satisfying sensations, aren't they? I suppose it depends what texture the dump is as well. I think cold side of the pillows is good for me. Do you think Wharton could go to City? Who do you think's better, Enzo Fernandez or Wharton? I mean, I think Maresca's going to want Enzo Fernandez, but Cherky's coming off here. Right, they're bringing on this Macedo here, who loads of people talk about for City, and I don't know anything about. Rayan Macedo. He's 18. I think it's his first appearance. He's a winger. 15 games for under 17s, 7 games for the under 18s. Well, knowing Man City, he's probably going to come on and be like bloody Messi, isn't he? Let's see what he's like. Macedo then. On and Boadi on. Looking at Wharton play today, 70 million max. I don't think Man City would go for him. Here's Boadi though. Looks... looks very composed, doesn't he, Boadi? That's what I really... Look, watching him in the World Cup for Morocco, what I really liked about Boadi was the way he was so confident in taking the ball off the back four. And he's so physically big as well. Here's Macedo. Oh my God. I tell you what. First appearance in a Man City shirt. First run in a Man City shirt. And he nearly curled it into the bottom. I mean, you know, I'm not saying it's Rooney against Everton. Sorry, Rooney for Everton against Arsenal. But it almost could have been a real moment there for him. Hull have just bought Ilias Ansah. What's your thoughts on that? Have they really? I like him. He's Union Berlin, isn't he? I like him. Welcome to the Premier League. It's... I don't know whether Hull's the right place for him, but... Be interested to see how he does it well. He's a handful. He is a handful. I don't know. I'm just having a quick look here. I mean, this is the thing though. Credit to Hull and Coventry and Ipswich because they're following the model of Sunderland in spending money, aren't they? Haaland! Number 2. More FPL points. I don't know why I celebrate Haaland scoring goals in FPL because everybody's bloody got him, haven't they? But then again, there might be some that haven't. He took it well. I was trying to figure out if Answer's going to play for Hull at the weekend. But hopefully he'll do well, Oliver. We've played Hull now, so hopefully he'll score loads of goals and beat everybody else. What do you think about Haaland's hair? I prefer it to the long style. Foden did very, very well. More central role for Foden. And again, lovely feet by Foden and a lovely finish by Haaland. You can't save those. Too much power near post. You can't save those. Yeah, big game for them. Hull playing Coventry tomorrow afternoon. I was just trying to see. I don't think he's registered in time to play for Hull, is he? No, I don't think it's been announced yet. So, do you know the group friends from work? Italian back, etc. Says Harry. No. A lot of people captain Bruno Marks as 5-star. Could work out. I mean, hopefully it will. Saf says Palace are going down for sure. Long way to go. Darmia says, remember the comment, Arsenal will lose this weekend. Imagine if Arsenal lost at Villa on Monday night and then they've got Chelsea and then they lost there. This is what I mean. You can't make predictions this early in the season because people get very excited about one result, but things can change around very quickly. Look, United could beat Ipswich Everton and win the Manchester Derby and then we've got 9 out of 12 and we'd be in the top 3 again, wouldn't we? So things can change around very quickly. I think Arsenal will be too strong for Villa, though. Danny says he captained Cherky. I don't believe you, Danny. I'd like to believe you, but I don't. Nicholas says, I support Chelsea, but Enzo Fernandez is never worth 120. He loses the ball a lot. I don't feel that Enzo Fernandez is that type of a player, to be honest. But I do think Man City will make the move. Yeah, we're back at 12:30 tomorrow for Liverpool against Forest. And then we've got Newcastle against Spurs at 5:30. So 2 watch-alongs tomorrow on the channel. Is there a way to find out who's been captained the most? Status. Most transferred in De Kuiper. Most captained Haaland, yeah. Top transfers in Cherky. Sangari. Apparently Sangari's out of the Forest game. Oh, no. Sorry. Probably caused most people to shit themselves there. I'm just looking at injuries, Sangari, but it's Sangari at Forest. Sorry, everybody. Probably just caused a load of panic for those people who've got Brentford Sangari, but he is fit. Woo! I've nearly got more points than I got last week in my entirety off 2 players. Amarim is cooking. Is he playing tonight? Birmingham are still beating Wrexham 2-1. Fucking hell, Solihull Moors lost again. 3-1. La Liga, yeah. AC Milan 2, Venezia 0. Another win for them. Ramos and Hal. The thing I like about AC Milan is he keeps using that Cisse, the number 70, who's like a teenage winger and good player. Tell you what I do find weird about Amorim though is how he has frozen out Jimenez and Leao and Fofana and Tomori. I mean, it does seem a bit harsh. I always liked Tomori, so I don't know if what's gone wrong there. I mean, like, it's very harsh to treat players like that if you just because you don't rate them. But you know, Amorim doesn't take the piss, does he? They look quite good against us in pre-season as well. Oh, lovely play down the wing here from Man City. And 5 minutes to go. Correct me if I'm wrong, another fast-flowing game. Yeah, referee's done a good job, fast-flowing. There was one throw-in in the first half that took 20 seconds, but we did make a big noise about it. City has got good rotation options. I still think their bench looks a little bit weak. I keep asking the question, if Haaland gets injured, who's the striker? They don't have anybody. Are they going to bring somebody in? Big House says, Palace defence looks shaky. 3 at the back is tough. Well, it's going to be tough when Guéhi, Lacroix and Muniz are all going to go in the space of, what, 6 months? But it's a transition season for City. There's a lot of younger talent there when you think about Bawadi, Anderson, O'Reilly, Cherky. But it might not take them long. I think, fingers crossed, this Premier League season could be really interesting. There's a few teams that are going to take a bit of time to get moving, but Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. I'd like to improve. I'd like to put Man United in there, but I don't know. I just don't know whether we're going to be a good team to watch. Hopefully, we can grind out some wins again, but I don't know whether we'll be a good team to watch. Hull are looking at Fofana from Lyon, 35 mil. See, this is what I mean about Ipswich and Hull and Coventry. They're all making good signings. Semenyo trying to get the cross in. Goes for a... Is it a corner or a goal kick? Goal kick. JJ says, if Amorim doesn't rate you, you're out. Even with good players, pressure on the wing-backs, says Big House. Cern says, very fast-paced game, love it. Even with good blood, thank you very much. Harry Chippy says, describe the United board in one sentence. Mate, I just do it in one word. Shit. Are you doing transfer deadline day? We will be. I don't know. I actually don't know. We'll see how the weekend goes, because I'm not too sure that the transfer deadline day will be that good. Because most big deals can't be done in a day now. So you almost know the deals that are going to happen. I haven't seen a good transfer deadline day in years. They're not like they used to be. There's no people who think Elliot Anderson's going to be a flop don't know football. The only way he'd flop is if he got a bad injury. He's got too many attributes to flop. I think this Boadi could be a really good player as well. The thing about City is they'll definitely be a good team. It's just about how long it takes them to become a good team. But 6 points from 6 for City. As I said, Palace go to Fulham next week. Manchester City's next few games are as follows. They have 6 points. They're top of the league, as we know. They go home to Coventry next Saturday, which will probably be 3 points. Perfect start. And then game week 4, Old Trafford, Manchester Derby. So they'll probably they will be coming to Old Trafford with a perfect 9 from 9. And then they've got Sunderland at home. So Man City looking good. Man City looking very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Really enjoyed it. Good conversation. Good flow to the game. Lots of goals. I'm back with you for Liverpool against Forest tomorrow. Speak to you all then. Take care. Stay safe.